go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope.
Hello and welcome to Hockey Night in Australia. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Sean O'Connor. I'll be the host. GG is currently on the road trip of a lifetime to Melbourne. Tonight, I'll be joined by Eric Brook.
Hello, Sean. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Abby Richards is producing in the background, as always. We are Hockey Hype Australia. You can find us at www.hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au and on socials at hockeyhypeaus.
So, Sean, 24 hours away from, or under 24 hours away from finals, how are you feeling?
I am feeling really good. It's exciting times. It always is. This time of year, there's just something in the air.
And it's starting to get real too, mate, because as you mentioned, GG's on his way down to Melbourne. He was going to stop over somewhere, but he's going to go all the way through, hence why he's not with us tonight. And Courtney's already arrived.
Yeah. And I'm seeing photos, videos of everyone heading down at the moment, either tonight or started yesterday. So it's just, exciting. It's like Christmas, right?
Perth Thunder have had their final training session before the game. So we're starting to see people leaving their home airports. The Brisbane Lightning, for instance, they left. The CBR Brave are in town, or the Canberra Brave are in town. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I really enjoyed the interviews last night that we did for the RURAC conference, and today we're concentrating on the Hellyer division.
Yeah, so this is the Hellyer interviews, our second part of our final special. It is an exciting time. We've got great chats coming up with Jamie Woodman of the Thunder, Mack Caruana of the Ice, and Ryan Annesley of the Bears. So it's a strong lineup. All three teams, I think, are gunning for the cup this year. Who are you excited about watching the most this weekend, Eric, out of these three teams?
Out of those three teams, obviously, I've got a soft spot for the Bears. Hello. And the Bears, this has been the best Bears team that I've seen in 10 years of watching Bears hockey, so I'm really enthusiastic for them. Melbourne Ice, of course, have got a massive home ice advantage, as is understandable. They have had a fantastic season as well, especially the way that their season started. And the Perth Thunder, they haven't won a cup yet. They played really well last year, defeating Newcastle in the playing game. Let's see if they can go one further. They've got a fantastic lineup of imports and locals as well. And I know that Jamie Woodman, who we're about to hear from, is really excited as well, being the captain of the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they're three exciting teams. I think, the Bears have set the standard this season. They've been the team that will always win, even if they're not playing the best, and that is got championship written all over it. But equally, as you say, home ice advantage for the Melbourne Ice. It's been a long time since we last saw them. They did win last time they were in the finals, so they do have some history on their side. They are I think the second most successful team in the league's history, and it should be a lot of fun. And Perth, gunning for their first Goodall Cup. They've been close a few times. 2019, I think, was their closest. They will want to be doing better than they did last year.
And we'll see the difference in the way that the teams are preparing. I know last night with the RURAC conference, we heard variations of the theme about playing 2 games or playing 3 games. Newcastle, for instance, with Liam Manwaring, he was really excited only to be playing 2 games. Whereas Matt Harvey, for instance, for the Brave, he said, we know we've got 3 games, so we just have to put everything else behind us, and we just have to first of all, concentrate on the first game and then plan for the second and possibly the third game after that. We know that Perth have got a long flight over. We know that they're in town. We know that they've done their last training session. So let's get into the interview, Sean, and let's hear from Jamie Woodman.
Yeah, let's do it. Hopefully Abby's on there.
All right, we are back here with Jamie Woodman, the captain of the Perth Thunder. I'm joined by Sean O'Connor, and I have gotten the time horrendously wrong. Just apologies. First up, I converted Australian Western Standard Time twice. So Jamie said he was available at 5 p.m. his time, which I converted to 9 p.m. Sydney time. So first of all, thank you for being so flexible and taking the time to speak to us ahead of training, Jamie.
Oh, it's all good. I appreciate it, guys. This is legendary. I think I've made that mistake a couple of times myself trying to figure out Zooms, but it happens.
Yeah, no, it's. I appreciate your understanding. But first of all, congratulations on an outstanding season. The Perth Thunder have been on a roll and one of the best defensive teams in the league as well, and that's really powered the way to finals weekend. Congrats. What's kind of the message to the team as far as what it's going to take to win it, the first ever Good Old Cup for Perth?
Well, thank you for the kind words, first of all. I think our team's been really good for a long time. I think we've kind of been going through different things the last couple of years, kind of figuring out what works for us, what doesn't work, and like almost terrible way to say it, but almost like kind of failing forwards. And so
I always think every season Perth Thunder are like in the conversation, oh, this is their year to win. Look at their roster, it's so strong. And then it just doesn't quite get over the line.
Yeah, I think we've literally figured out every bloody way to lose we can. So hopefully. It's been really good. I think the message this one year has been we've had some bloody brilliant games, been playing really good hockey, and then it's just kind of coming in not mentally prepared. That's probably a big issue we've had. So it's been good that it isn't like a structural issue or like, hey, like this part is bad and we can't trust it. It's been like, hey, if we're not dialed in, if we're not focused, issues come up for us. But I feel like how we've been training, how everything's gone late, I think we're in a really good position right now.
Is there any adjustments that you kind of make with training, like, you know, coming into into finals week, knowing that to lift the Good Old Cup, you've got to play 3 games in 3 nights or 3 days?
Yes and yeah. I think it's pretty important. Like 3 games, I think every single game, well, most of the games are 24 hours, less than 24 hours separated. Like Friday to Saturday is a really, really quick turnaround, late game to early game. And then kind of with the final, we'll see how it's going. But I mean, with work and stuff, I do a lot of body rehab anyway. I kind of work through this way a lot. We've got a couple of professionals on the team. So I think getting into a recovery mindset and like prepping our bodies the right way and treating it isn't too hard because we have a lot of that knowledge on board, and it's just getting it done right. Like hopefully, I think hotel and everything has a lot of stuff sorted for us. We can do ice baths, we can do VO2 training, so we can do a lot of stuff that can get us ready quickly for that quick turnaround.
Oh, that's good. I know, like, it is a big ask physically, but I guess our league is quite used to it too. We have a lot of travel, we have a lot of double headers. You know, the players are quite used to playing a lot of hockey back to back quickly and being tired.
I think one of the best ones we had, I think it was first road trip of the season, and it was like JFK's first. It was his first road trip with us, and like kind of like fly out Saturday morning, go over, play, and he's like, "You guys do this all the time?" We're like, "Yeah, man, it's like part of the game." He's like, "All right, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment." Like, it's awesome. It's amazing. Like, man, we get to fly around playing hockey. Like, it's the best thing ever. But like, it's a battle. Yeah. It's a battle.
It's kind of like being like a pro hockey player, right? Like only like the top pros get to fly out everywhere. And you guys get to do it all the time, each year.
We had imports I can't remember who it was. He's like sitting there and he's like, economy, we're sitting there just waiting for the plane to take off. He's like, this is the NHL. Like, this is the NHL. This is awesome. I'm like, it is awesome. This is really cool.
That's right. The AI is the NHL. It's the show, the Southern show.
Legitimately.
Yeah. If your opponent first up, Canberra Brave, you've had you've got a winning record against them this season. How does that factor into, you know, mentality heading into that first game on Friday night?
I don't really think many of us are counting those first 2 games. Like, we're both kind of pretty short-staffed, especially Canberra. They came over with a pretty young team, and like me and the camera guys all like watched it together at Worlds. So I think the games in Canberra I think meant a lot more to us because that was pretty much their full team. I'm pretty sure it was their first day where they got that defensive import. He was bloody awesome. And it's going to be probably the first time us playing as a full team this year. Like we got everyone's back, everyone's healthy, everyone's moving. So I wouldn't really put too much kind of into that just because this is going to be completely different. Like it's a one and done. It's not like, regular season game, cool, let's get through this alive. It's, hey, like, you need to put everything into this. And it's going to be two teams. Like Canberra's on an absolute run right now. This is going to be us at our full strength. So it's going to be kind of the first proper meeting of that. And it's finals. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. I must admit, it's good to see Addison back the last couple of weeks. And I believe Zane Jones has now flown in as well for finals, yeah?
Yep, he's going to be practicing tonight with us. See the Zane train. Hopefully don't get murdered on the blue line.
This is going to be great. Great for Australian hockey fans.
It's so cool, right? Like, I think like playing against him for years and years, I was always like terrified. But like it was always seemed like a pretty good guy. And then actually have him, because I messaged a couple of the Newcastle boys. I was like, hey, what do you think? And like just the comments you get, it's like he's an amazing human. He's so merry. He like laughs like SpongeBob. Like it's like, yeah, you know, the on ice stuff speaks for itself. He's phenomenal, skills amazing, super physical. Like he's like great, but to have him in the locker room is just like even better, which is like such a testament to him as a hockey player. It's been really cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys took two big personalities out of Newcastle this year and put them on your team, so it's good to see.
Oh, it's been cool. No, they've been a great addition. They're such great humans, so it's been awesome to have them.
Do you think your experience with the Canberra Brave will play important? Do you know a few tips about the players there that otherwise you wouldn't, and you can share with the rest of the team?
Oh, far out. Probably more to ask Lindo and Punla. Not really. Like we've all been playing against each other so long. Like we see some tendencies at Worlds, but it's just it's hard to really get a grip. Like, you know, tendencies, and we can kind of like play around those tendencies, but like ideally don't give Casey the puck, don't let him shoot the puck, don't listen to Bailey talking. It should be good.
Yeah, the chirping is real.
All right, you wouldn't believe it. In Canberra, there's like no separation on the bench, and I swear every shift just Bailey like looking over to something. I was like, man, give me a break. Like, come on, just getting my breath back.
Is there anyone on the Thunder that gives it back, like that is a bit of a chirper that can give one back to Bailey?
Oh, I feel like there's a couple guys up and down. Like Lyndon every now and then has like some awesome ones, but he's like kind of quiet under the radar, and throws something out. Not too much. We're not too much of a chatty team. I don't know. I'm just not very witty, so I've never been like good at that kind of stuff. I kind of just like go silent and go, all right, like damn.
Looking at the season, one of the players that I think he's listed down as your nomination for MVP, the team's nomination for MVP for the season is Leo Bertien.
Yeah,
man, he came across and he plays every minute until like that penultimate weekend of the season, and he left the game against the Bears. But talk us through like what it means knowing that you've got him in net, like in behind you.
It is insane. Like that guy is a wizard. Like it's just like you have no fear. Like, cool, get completely walked and dangled 2-on-1. You're like, it'll go in the corner. I'll pick it up. We'll go the other way. Like he's just like such a force. Like there was that game where we were horrific. Like we just played horrifically in Melbourne, and we got like peppered. It was like 60 something shots, and he's like still over 900 save percentage. Like it was. You could not speak so highly. Like you're always going to get goalies here and there. I think Thunder's been quite well known to get like really standout import goalies, but to have him as just this force, work ethic's amazing. Like I think you kind of got to take the league with where it's up to and everything. Like guys don't have a heap of time to prepare. You don't like sometimes you're leaving work, driving straight to practice and everything. He's there, hour and a half before every practice. He's fully prepared. He's warmed up. Everything's going. Prepares his body. Like it's just you can't speak to that level of professionalism, and he's awesome. Like I think any hockey player or hopefully hockey fans get it. Like, even if I get called out for it, goalies are weird. Like, all goalies are weird. And like, he's pretty cruisy. Like, he's plays really good in the net. He's not high maintenance. Like, it's just I cannot speak higher of Leo. He's a legend.
Is there because you've got like a contingent of players that have played in France or that have like French Canadian even background? I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to even include Addison in there, drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, because why not? But Ben Bro, obviously, like, is there a bit of a French connection? Yeah, I was going to.
I think just with it, because we had Ben and he had like so many connections kind of through those areas that a lot of that was kind of like, hey, I know this guy. Like, we got Leo through that. He's like, hey, I played here. I know this guy. Or we had like a reference or something like, hey, we got this guy. He's really talented. We know through people. So it's kind of always been like that. It's not really like I think an on purpose thing. I think it's kind of just how it's gone. Especially as talking to a lot of guys around the league this year, I think it has been quite difficult with getting imports in and everything. So I don't think we have any like secret plan to have the French connection in over here, but it's just worked out pretty consistently for us.
Although saying that, you guys did bring in Mr. Big Time this year. How do you pronounce his name, GG?
Yu Hikosaka.
Hugh.
Oh my God, yes.
He's been quite phenomenal for you guys since being there. He scores in those big occasions with those big goals.
Oh man,
what's it like, playing with him?
Oh, it's the easiest thing in the world. I don't know if you guys saw it. I had we're playing the Bears, and he like literally carries the puck up the whole ice. I just like dangles two people, and I'm just like, I'll draw the rush. Like, no one else is going, so I just like skated to the back door, and I literally skated along, like stick on the ice. I did nothing. He like cuts in. Punch turns, like, so full spin around my backhand, tape. I literally like didn't do anything, just went in. I was like, oh, like that was, and like he does it all the time. Like, the guy's super fast, super prepared. Like, he's been such a hidden gem for us, and he's just awesome. Like, he gets along really well with the guys. He has a couple like really good jokes for everyone, but like Hiko's been legendary for us. Like, so good and such just like steady Eddie. Like, there's I think a couple guys around the league who kind of like try and really get under import skin, try and get into it. And like, Hiko's just straight line, doesn't pick up anything, and he's phenomenal. Like, his one-timer is so good. And I don't know if there'll be many examples of it that was on video, but he has this like sudden out of nowhere slap shot that just like, he doesn't load up, doesn't do anything. He's just so fast and so heavy. He is a treasure to watch. And he had me, we do this one drill practice, like this 2-on-1 drill. And for like, I know I would only go against him. I picked him the whole time. And I think he had to be for 5 weeks. I didn't stop him once. Every practice. And I was like, I'm going to stop him eventually. But he's a freak. He's so good.
Yeah, I was commentating that game with the Spinorama assist to you. That was the Ice Dogs.
Yes.
You've scored twice, both this season, both times at Macquarie. Once against the Ice Dogs, and then once against the Bears. I think it was like just inside the blue line. I was in arena for that one, and that was pretty special. But Hikosaka. Sorry.
Oh, man, the guy's incredible, man. Like, I couldn't speak higher of him. He's so a legend.
It's so fun to watch him skate. Like, he pulls out that Spinorama move like nobody's business, and it's like the skill button on NHL '98. You know, with when you had like the little star underneath the player.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. Get towards the blue line. Little skill button, and then Alexander McGillney has done a backhand spin shot roofer. But no, he's fun to watch.
Both have that skating ability as well as the puck handling that he has. It's very similar to Austin Kangalasi on Canberra as well. Both of them have that skill. And it makes them standout players on the ice when they're playing. But yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup between the two of them for the first game in finals.
It's going to be cool. It's so exciting. Like the teams are so good. There's so much parity. It's so interesting to see how everyone matches up against it. And it's going to be, man, you're playing in Melbourne. Rink's awesome. Crowd's awesome. It's brilliant.
Do you have any match day rituals when you go to finals?
Not too much. I don't know. I used to be really, really like into it. I need to do all these bloody things. I'm pretty chilled out now. Like, take my sticks a certain way, take them in a certain order, get certain things done. I'm a massive coffee nerd, so I could do Melbourne's pretty good for that. So I have like a couple of places I like. I tick this one off, tick this one off. Mainly be prepared. I have this like one book I kind of always read leading up to finals. I don't know. I really enjoy it. It kind of gets me really G'd up. So kind of that kind of stuff. But really for me, it's just, hey, body feels good, mentally feel good. I'm happy. Like, I'm not really too much one of those guys where I need to be like, it's a 17-hour list of things to tick off. Just feel good, play good. Like certain other people on my team.
Yeah, we've heard from a few players which have a few different superstitions and rituals that they perform. Everything from, specifically tapping 1 point in the rink pre-game, stuff like this. It's very very funny to listen to.
But they called them habits. They were quite offended for them to be called superstitions. But can you tell us what's the book that gets you G'd up? Hockey Hype Australia good read.
It's a bit. I think some people kind of feel it's a bit cringy. I'm a big fan of it. There's these books by Jim Butcher. It's called The Dresden Files, and there's this one called Changes, and it's like, how do you describe it? It's kind of like this like fantasy thing, but it's just like the story's really good. It builds up to this like massive moment, and I've read it, I think, the last 3 years, and it's just kind of like the first year it just worked out. It was on game day, and I was just like flying in the game. I was like, that's pretty good. And then the next year I was like, well, it worked pretty good if I could time it, and then did the same thing, and it just kind of worked out again this year. So it's a little bit odd, but I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's great.
Nice.
Any AOE2 games planned? And what's your civilization, man? Which one do you choose? Like I often go to Byzantines, but
yeah, that's Davey. Okay, so we're having a bit of an issue right now. So Ville picked it up first, and it just like took him over. Like, it was his whole personality for a little bit, and then so a couple of us used to play it as well, and so he got me, David Kudler, and Alistair Pundler into it. And so we're playing, and he'd played like heaps, so he dominated for a bit. And then we all started to figure out the game, and he's struggling now. But then Davey's just on a run. Like, he just builds up, hides behind his walls, builds up, and he just dominates guys. So we haven't played in a while, and we played the other night. And I'm not amazing, but I'm pretty good. And so, like, everyone was targeting me. And so literally, I think it was within like... I had like Ville completely broke through one set. Pundler was coming through the other side, and I was like, it's bloody terrible. So then I couldn't even sleep, and I just sat there in bed and be like, oh man, like, I should have done this, and this. So it's not too conducive. I think a couple of them are going to bring their laptops to finals, but that's absolutely not happening for me. I can't risk it. I'm Britain. Sorry, I play Britons. I do Archer Rush because I'm a nerd.
Yeah. No, the range on the long bowman is really annoying. It's super annoying. But yeah, no, I respect it though.
Still looking forward to the off-season tournament.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good. I like drive Pundler insane because I can do the like attack move. So that as the archers attack, run, and Pundler actually gets furious with it, which is like makes it even more fun to do.
We have to ask this question. Obviously, the finals are sponsored by Hungry Jack's. What's your go-to menu item? Obviously, the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's, right? Yeah.
Oh. I haven't been there in yonks. I think I used to always think I was really cool, get like the ultimate double whopper, and then after a while, I actually went back to the bacon deluxe, and it's a way better burger. Like, the actual burger itself is like so much more delicious. So I'd go bacon deluxe meal. I've heard good things about the chicken fries, but I haven't had them yet. So I'll keep it pretty cruisy and just do, large bacon deluxe meal, and then probably just a strawberry milkshake. Be hardcore. Go all in.
Nice. Someone else mentioned the chicken fries.
Yeah, I forget who it was. We interviewed so many people yesterday. I mean, obviously, this is going to be shown later. This is definitely not pre-recorded. But yeah, someone. So maybe you can catch up at finals with another one of the captains as you're ordering at Hungry Jack's and they're ordering chicken fries. You're like, hey,
give me one.
respect.
I need to know.
Yeah. A question that I'm asking everyone specific to their teams, just to finish this sentence. Winning the good old cup would the Perth Thunder winning the good old cup would mean, and then finish that sentence for you.
I think like a culmination of like 7 to 8 years of work. Like we have had such a phenomenal team that has gone from, hey, you could probably say like 5-6 years ago we were too young. Like we were just too young a core. We weren't ready for it. And there was a big disparity between kind of like our veteran presence and our young guys. I think this core is so cohesive now. Everyone gets along so well. Like we've been knocking on the doorstep, and it's finding out all, like I think I said earlier, like finding out all the ways to kind of do it wrong. Like get 2 G'd up before the game, watch the game before us, or do just other things here and there where coming in mentally prepared, having that championship mindset, and just ready to go. Everything else, like be able to be, just being ready to go. So in the end, I think just a culmination of years and years of hard work, being ready.
Yeah, it's no longer just about making finals, having that experience. It's now about trying to win that cup.
Yeah.
And I mean, like
that's something huge.
You look at how experienced your backline is now. Your D-men, like you guys, yourself, you've got Rob there. I mean, who else? You got JFK, Lyndon Lodge, Alistair Punler. Like, come on, the defense is massive in this team. And then, like, you've got players like Jordan Kiros, who has improved so much over the last couple of years.
Oh, man, it's been incredible. Like for Geordie, I love Geordie. Geordie's a superstar. Honestly, a flat out superstar. Like we had last year, seeing him thrive and just absolutely take the league over was just so cool. And then I got to room with him at Worlds and everything. Like me and him are good mates and everything, but to kind of have that like shared experience of 2.5 weeks together was just like, I love it. Like this team is in such a good spot. Like you didn't even mention David Could. Like Davey's got like 200 and something games played. Like it's just, there's no longer those excuses where you're like, oh, they haven't been in that position before. Like we've been there, we've done it, we're ready. Like the team is ready. We're in a good spot. There's no, oh, we need to fix this blunder. It's like, just turn up, dialed in on the day.
Is there any extra motivation given the injury for Vele to try and win for him?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably pretty accurate. Like Vele is just like the best human being. Like you meet him and he's like so kind. He's just an awesome, really, really genuine, authentic person. And to have that happen at this stage when he was just like that game, he looked unstoppable. And to have it kind of happen to him is just a heartbreak. Like he's one of my best friends, and like, yeah, like he's coming along. To have him there, like, yeah, it's huge. It's huge for us. Like that guy means so much to that group.
Awesome.
Any other questions, Sean?
No, I didn't have any other particular questions, but no. Looking forward to it. I hope it's a really good game between Canberra and Perth, and may the best team win in advance. I think if whoever wins that game, I think is a good chance for going pretty far in this finals weekend. So,
it's going to be a war, absolute war.
Well, all the teams are so closely, they're not that big differences between all of them. So, the matchups are pretty good, pretty tight.
Yeah.
No, but we really appreciate you taking the time and your understanding of me screwing up the time zone stuff, and but good luck, safe travels to finals. Look forward to seeing you there on the Friday, and good luck with it with everything. It's been really fun to watch, and every team, I feel every team at finals, there's storylines that you can get behind and cheer for, and obviously one of the big ones, storylines to get behind is Perth winning, who've been perpetual contenders, lifting that first good old cup. So yeah, good luck.
Oh, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I've loved the content. What you guys are doing for hockey in Australia is bloody brilliant.
Oh, and Jamie, one last thing before you go. I have actually seen a special flag that someone is bringing to finals in case you guys win.
Oh, sick. Cool.
They've
I'm in.
got a custom Perth flag. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, brilliant. How cool is that?
Yeah, great fans there in Perth. So
Yeah, honestly, they are. They're absolutely phenomenal. They do so much for us. Like coming out to every game. I think our attendance this year was like record breaking compared to other years. And like it's like so many cool things. Like there was like everyone got like cookies with their names on it, and they're like all done in the jersey style. Like there's some absolutely just beautiful human beings.
awesome. Well, look
Yeah,
forward
brilliant.
to it.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks again.
And we're back. Well, that was a very long interview, a bit longer than some of the others. What did you think there, Eric?
That was certainly wide-ranging, Sean. We went from coffee, we went to books, we went to gaming, we went to coffee, we went to strawberry milkshakes and Hungry Jacks. But one of the things that I'm really loving about Hockey Hype Australia, and not just because I'm one of the staff now, we really get to know the personality of the players, and Jamie there showed that really well. Of course, his team's confident, and they have every right to be confident. They've got such a good team, as he mentioned. They've got a really good, experienced local core, and their imports, including Bertan, including Heiko Saka, and also Addison, especially, and of course Ben Berard as another. There's just got so many different options. It's just not a case of just relying on your imports. The locals can certainly get it done as well.
Yeah, Jamie really did highlight that as well. And we've definitely had quite a lot of chatter on our comments as well.
We certainly have, and time zones are hard, GG, so I totally understand that.
Here's Natasha Denton with haha, Woody is a great one of the stories. He really is. You could talk to him about anything and he'll just go off. Here we go. Luca comes in with evening, everyone. Jones is a human equivalent of a freight train. Shoots hard, hits hard, and his mouth always makes for good entertainment. Yeah, I really do think that missing Jones for that middle part of the season, Perth did suffer a little bit by not having his presence on the ice. What do you think, Eric?
Well, I can certainly agree with that, Sean. Having seen him at close range at Newcastle, he mentioned Newcastle, the former players JFK and also Zane Jones. So they've picked up a really good couple of players there, and they can use their experience that they've had as well. So, yeah, Zane Jones is maybe that little bit of mongrel, maybe that as long as he doesn't step over the line and go too far.
Yeah.
I think when he's on song and he's got that good mix of aggression but not going over the line, he's certainly a handy addition to have, and he'll just come back because he hasn't played. He hasn't played, as Jamie said. He was going to training with the boys, so yeah, he's definitely one of many to watch for the Thunder.
Yeah, it should make for an exciting finals for them, especially against the Brave tomorrow. Yeah, we've got Phil Taylor. Bertan looked great. Had a bit of training tonight, according to Savo. Very sharp. Yeah, I mean, he's looked great all season. There's a reason why he's been their number one tender this year, and yeah, played almost all minutes till right near the end.
Yeah, it was a second last weekend against the Bears, but him having that couple of weeks off would have really been to his advantage, having basically played every minute. And you could tell that the goalies really love playing at somewhere like Melbourne. And as we've mentioned tonight, as we mentioned last night, you've got to play your first game first. It is one and done, despite the fact that it is over 3 days. So I think they're a great chance, and it's going to be a real goalie battle.
Yeah,
with all the different goalies, not just Bertan. We've got some more comments.
Yeah, Luca came in afterwards too with this one. The French Minister of Defence. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Mackenzie Arnold of the Matildas called the Minister of Defence for Australia. now we've got the French Minister of Defense in this country as well.
Le Wall Betin.
Yeah. What else we got? Got any more there, Abby, that you want to pull up?
Hello, Jeffrey.
Yes, Jeffrey, a long-time listener and watcher of the show. Yeah, Thunder through and through.
So yeah, as I said, I really liked hearing the range of Jamie Woodman. He's just not a one-dimensional hockey player, and he's a, I certainly learned a lot about him as well.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on to our second interview for the evening? So this will be with Mack Caruana for the Melbourne Ice. What is he? Captain as well for the Ice. So yeah, it was a great interview. He's a very chilled person, and yeah, a lot of fun.
We are back with Mackenzie Caruana from the captain of the Melbourne Ice. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Do you prefer Mackenzie or Mack?
Mack. Yeah, definitely Mack. So don't mind either one, but definitely Mack. And thank you guys for having me on. It's a big honor.
First of all, congrats on a great season. The Melbourne Ice were top of the league for quite a bit there, and then the Sydney Bears ended up pipping you guys at the post, but you finished second. You've got the early game on Friday night, on Friday afternoon rather, against the Brisbane Lightning. How excited are you now as the captain, leading this team to the AIHL finals for the first time since 2017?
Yeah, extremely excited. It's actually going to be my first final I play in personally as well. So it's been a long time coming for this current group. I know we still have a few veteran guys who have played there and won quite a few cups. But for the big chunk of us, this will be kind of the first real test in finals, and we're really looking forward to it. We've had a great season, I think. Obviously, we've had some ups and downs, but I think for the most part, we've got a really good group of guys, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity to play finals and really embracing it and not taking it for granted. It's probably the main thing. We know what it took to get here. We know some of the years past on the struggles we've had, and yeah, the guys are ready to go. Everyone's itching to get to Friday afternoon, so can't wait.
Mac, being that it's hosted in Melbourne this year again, do you think it's going to be an advantage or disadvantage having that home crowd? Like, there's a lot of pressure there, but also you have a lot of support. What do you think?
Yeah, it's obviously we love playing in front of our fans and love playing at home, so I can't see it being a disadvantage. But also, I think other teams may also benefit from playing at our rink because different styles. Obviously, we've seen some teams come here and really thrive in finals and during the regular season as well, because we know the dimensions of rinks are very different in each city. So, look, I don't think it's a disadvantage. Don't know if it's a full-blown advantage yet, but look, I'm definitely happy the finals are in Melbourne. We have a great fan base. It's going to be real exciting.
Yeah, could you imagine if finals were in Canberra on that small ice? It'd be so different.
The Brave Cave would be loving it. They'd be going off, but it may be tough for a few teams, that's for sure.
Mac, you talked a little bit just before about sort of the veterans in the locker room and the sort of leadership and everything they bring. With yourself coming in last year as a pretty young captain into the Ice, can you talk about sort of how some of those guys have helped you with the leadership? You've got obviously a lot of experience there with Liam Webster and Joey Hughes coming back this year, and just sort of how that's helped your journey.
Oh, definitely. It's been a big help. Obviously, you mentioned it was pretty young. Those guys have been around the league for such a long time, have such a great understanding of kind of what it takes. It's a very different league to most, as we all know, overseas and whatnot. You got a wide variety of different players, imports coming in all throughout the year. So having those guys just know what the league's like, know how to navigate it, a lot of experience in big games, especially this weekend. I think they've been fantastic. Obviously, Joey coming back this year has been massive, not just his ability to play on the ice, but his leadership qualities off it. And same with Webby. And look, it's great having those guys around, and I'll definitely probably lean on them this weekend, especially their finals experience and the amount of titles they've won. It's going to be huge for us come Friday afternoon and into this weekend.
Not to mention, Mac, I mean, you're coming off your career best season in the AI, over 50 points this season. How do you think that your form, especially over the last 2 years, has helped promote the ice to getting into finals?
Look, it's obviously happy with the season and everything, but we have so many guys, especially this year, who have really pulled through for us and have been massive. Like Joey's 46 points this year. He's really wound back the. I know he hasn't played much in Canberra the last few years, but he really showed that he hasn't missed a beat. Was pretty fortunate to play with some great line mates this year and as well as last year. So look, it's really been a team effort this year, and anyone can step up at any time. I think we're a lot more balanced. So it's definitely helped having those guys in the depth of scoring, and two great import D and Tatsu back there has definitely made a massive difference to the way everyone plays. So look, it's great. Yeah, it felt like we had a great season, and just hopefully we can get 3 more games and get the title that we're after.
In the lead up to this final week before finals, are there any steps you guys are taking to just ensure that you're fully ready for the 3 for Friday?
Not too much. We checked in. We had an extra practice over the weekend, kind of just get guys on the ice. Didn't want to take the full weekend off, but other than that, it's really just another week. I think that's probably the best thing to do. We've known what we had to do this year to prepare. Everyone knows what they need to do personally, and I'm sure come Friday afternoon, we'll get to the rink and be dialed in and ready to go. So don't think there'll be too much change at practice during the week. It'll just be Tuesday, Thursday, and then go from there.
With you mentioned before about the your 2 import D in Aonzo and Solo, but also Tatsunoshin Ishida, the Tatsunoshinator on social media, and he has almost as big a presence on socials as he does on the ice. What do you feel is, or have you seen the impact of bringing over these players from Asia to play in the AIHL?
We've definitely seen it this year. I think Tatsu was kind of the first because he came in so early and has been here the whole season. He was kind of that first of the Southeast Asian imports to really kind of take over, I'd say, and really make their presence felt. And obviously, quite a few of the other teams have jumped on board and brought over some really quality players. So I think it's only benefited the league. Obviously, you have 4 imports, and it's so hard to pick 4 guys because everyone brings over is always so good. And just being able to add that 5th one makes a massive difference. I mean, seeing the quality of hockey that they play and everything like that, I think it's been great for the league.
Yeah, obviously you guys have been building for the last few years, like compared to 2022. Last year was a big step up, and now obviously you guys have stepped up again. How much do you think the young guys within the squad are really playing to add that depth to the team?
Oh, it's been massive. We know obviously 2022, that COVID year I call, was a big struggle for us. We kind of took that step of being competitive last year where you didn't rock up to the rink. You felt like we were in most games that we played. And the young guys have take that massive step. So obviously shortened year, that 2022, next year, every time you're on the ice playing against better guys, they've taken another step, especially the younger D-men. Kind of grown over the last 2 years, and to the point now where we have some solid depth on both forwards and off and defense. So it's definitely been huge. Getting guys on the ice, and we spent a lot of time last summer on the ice as a team before 2023. I think that's obviously team chemistry and everything building up throughout the last 2 years, and it's gotten us to this point here.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Jacob Lever this year in
Absolutely.
D-line. He's just been phenomenal.
As well with, oh yeah, sorry, Tristan, you go.
No, you're right, JJ, go for it, mate.
Well, I was just going to ask. I know, like, we've spoken to Gooch, to head coach Kerry Goulet on the show before, and he's been pretty straightforward up front, where he said that last year when he came in and he kind of underestimated the league, went away and did some preparation, changed some stuff up, and how has that impacted the improvement? I think last season you had a points percentage of 0.385, and this year it's like 0.678 or somewhere around there. What's been the impact or difference that you've seen from a coaching perspective?
Definitely. It's obviously that understanding, like you said, it's like I touched on earlier, it's a different league. So coming in with no background on it, obviously would have been a struggle. And he admittedly needed to be better. And Gooch went back over the offseason, worked with a high school in Canada and learned over some developed coaches over there, and has come back knowing his mistakes from last year and really built on it in order to get us in the right spot we are this year. Obviously, we feel that add some veteran players and add some imports in that mix, and just having everyone around and on top of a solid group already has made a massive difference. So credit to him. He knew he needed to be better last year, and self-admittedly he went back and did what he had to do, and it's obviously paid off this year.
Nice. I think that sort of dovetails into the question I was looking at here. This year, Mac, you're one of three local players that have got over 20 goals, along with Brody Lindahl, a former teammate of yours, and Dimi Kulishov. Given you've played a little bit, a season and a half or so in the AI pre-COVID and to now, do you want to talk a little bit about the growth in the league and how it's going in general?
Absolutely. I've noticed a massive step even just with stuff like this podcast 2018. You didn't really hear much about hockey outside of the rink. And now it's everywhere on social media. People want to come to games. It's blown up and it's great. And I think the quality of imports gets better every year. The local players get better every year. I think I've noticed a big step in that. The local players really from 2018 to now. You got a bunch of young guys come up who have gone overseas to play, come back, and they're really, really playing some good hockey. And I think the league's going to continue to grow. It's going to get more popular. It's going to get obviously more funding into it, hopefully, and be able to grow. And really, I think we got a great opportunity to grow the league beyond what it is now. Obviously, it's hard with ice time in the country, and obviously that there's little struggles like that. But I think we have a great platform and a good base to build on.
It's talking about some of the young players that you've got. Jed Lake, I believe, has been nominated as the rookie of the year for the Melbourne Ice. You've got Cy Lake as well, Toby Gilchrist. We mentioned Jacob Laver as well. Like, there's lots of really good young players, not just on the Melbourne Ice, but it seems to be on all the AIHL teams. What's the improvement that you've kind of seen from the local player base?
I think it's just that them really wanting to play. Hockey getting bigger in the country obviously helps too. More opportunities for ice time. Also, quite a few of the guys have gone overseas and tried to play there and have had success over there, and just to get better. And that's what it kind of takes. Obviously, we know how hard it is to get ice time in this country. So the guys who really want to improve, I think they know what they need to do, and they've been given a bit more opportunities maybe than what it has been in the past, just due to exposure to hockey in the country. Guys are probably starting to play at a younger age than they would have 10, 15 years ago. And as we know, the more you play, the better you get. So I think that's probably part of it. Just hockey's getting bigger here, and they're starting at a younger age, getting more ice time.
Shifting gears now towards finals weekend, there's the challenge of winning or playing 3 games in 3 days as the path to the Good Old Cup. Is there anything differently that you do to kind of prepare the body for the rigors of those 3 games? One person we asked mentioned get a good physio ready and available, but what's kind of your take on things there?
Yeah, I'd probably echo that statement. Definitely, we have a great physio team with us. We've had them all season. They've been fantastic. It's more just recovery. So obviously the schedule is what it is. 3 games, 3 days is a big ask, but it's the teams who want to do it, you got to do it. So look, we're not really thinking too much past Friday afternoon, to be honest. But the second we get off the ice, hopefully with a win, it's into recovery, and it's just making the most of those hours you have in between games, resting, getting the right food and hydration into you, physio treatment if you need it. It's Look, it's no different. Sometimes you fly out, as guys would know, you fly out pretty early Saturday morning or late Saturday, rush to the rink, and then play the next day. So the league travel has always been kind of a fun one. So guys are used to just doing what they have to do to get ready for the game. And in finals weekend, I'm sure once it gets into it, guys won't even be thinking about it. It'll just be another game, and they'll be dialed in. So yeah, obviously recovery is huge, but it's 3 pretty important games if you get lucky enough to play in all 3.
While we're talking about finals weekend, Mac, is there anything besides the obvious, which would be lifting the Goodall Cup on Sunday afternoon? Is there anything you're looking forward to, like any little bits of being your first final series?
Yeah, the whole thing. So I went and watched last year, went to every game, and yeah, really sat there, and at the end of this, when the Mustangs were lifting the cup, I sat there and I said, that's where we want to be next year. And there was quite a few of our teammates at the same point. We all kind of said, yeah, that's what we want. And I think that's been a driving force coming into this year. And look, I just really enjoy the weekend. It's going to be hard games. Every team's here for a reason. It's going to be really challenging, but embrace the challenge. And I think we got a really good team to do it. But yeah, enjoy every moment for sure, because I know it's been a hard place to get to for us the last couple of years. So yeah, definitely just enjoy every opportunity.
They're saying that the last time the Ice were in the finals, they did lift the cup.
Fingers crossed.
Just on that, Mac, just been asking everyone just to finish this sentence, obviously with their team, but the Melbourne Ice winning the Goodall Cup would mean, and then finish that sentence for you.
I think it would cement a new beginning to kind of what the Ice, where we come from last 5 years. Cements that we're back. We got a good group, a good core group. Yeah, and I really do believe we have a great group of guys who are willing to do what it takes, anything for each other to get the win. So yeah, I think it's just us getting back to where we know we want to be.
It's good. How many would this make for Joey if he wins?
I think this is 8.
8. Absolute craziness.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will be extra special being back home and being able to do it in Melbourne. So it's been a while since he's 1-1 with the Ice, so it should be interesting.
Yep.
Are you a Hungry Jack's guy, Mac? Are the burgers better at Hungry Jack's? And what would be your go-to menu item of choice?
Feel like you're putting me on the spot here. Yeah, Hungry Jack's is great. It's it's fantastic. It's great they're coming on board. Probably just a bacon cheeseburger or something like that from Hungry Jack's with chips and milkshake, chocolate milkshake.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. We've
Nice.
had some good variety. No one's picked the Whopper. No one has picked the Whopper, which, you know, I don't know what that says.
But GG, it's going to be a whopper of a weekend. Come on.
We need to add the soundtrack to that one. But what? Obviously, with this being your first finals as well, and some fans might be going down for the first time. What's your post-game venue of choice? I know Urban Alley, they do a Melbourne Ice beer, don't they? They do a Melbourne Ice branded beer.
They do. So Urban Alley actually sponsor us. They've been helping the club for a few years now. Since I've been around the whole time, they've been sponsoring us, and we get meals there after every game. So Urban Alley will definitely be the place we'll go to get a meal after each game. And yeah, that's where most of our fans come over and can find us after the game.
Yeah, it's always a real festival atmosphere at finals down in Melbourne. So, and Urban Alley definitely is a centerpiece to that.
Yeah. Well, any final questions, guys?
Yeah. Do you have any superstitions that you follow that we should have a look out for at finals?
None probably that you'll see, other than left skate before right and stuff like that. But nothing too crazy. I've tried to get out of that superstitious phase just because it's you never know. As I said before, you never know how long you have before you rock up to the rink and certain road trips and everything like that. So I just try and keep it as simple as possible before a game. So try to have a pasta meal before I play. That's probably the one thing I do enjoy having. So that's probably about it.
Is it a Parmy or a Parma?
Parma.
Parma. Okay. Wait, that's going to cause some debate.
No, Matt's right. It's a Palmer. There's no debate.
No, but honestly, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out of your preparation, and we really appreciate it. Good luck at finals. We're looking forward to watching. It should be a fantastic event, and we'll see you down in Melbourne. We'd say safe travels, but I mean, you still got to negotiate the roadworks. Hopefully, they're not too bad. But yeah, good luck, and we'll see you at finals.
Nah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on, and love what you guys are doing with the podcast and with everything. So, thank you.
Thanks, Mac. And we're back. Well, Eric, what did you think of that one? It was a pretty good conversation.
It was. I certainly liked his point of view in terms of being there but not being in finals, and especially because Mustangs won last year and him being the ice captain, being in the same building and thinking, we want that.
Yeah.
I know when I got involved in the league 10 years ago and I was supporting the Bears, even though the Bears weren't making finals, I was still going down there anyway and flying the flag and wearing a Bears jersey. In fact, there were times there where people thought that I only had Bears merchandise in my wardrobe and nothing else. And then, ironically, in 2019, when Bears did win, I actually wasn't there and I actually won't be there this weekend. So maybe that's an omen, Bears fans.
But very good omen.
But seriously, no, I did like that point of him watching and, being there, getting the atmosphere, seeing what it's like and using that as motivation. I was very surprised, and it's obvious when you think about it that that's actually his first finals.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it. Like, he seems to have been around forever and yet never made finals. It kind of is a big point about just how long ago it was since the Ice have been involved in finals. Like, it's a long time, 2017.
So obviously they've got big motivation. Every team's got big motivation, but when you're in that rink and you see all the Melbourne Ice banners and the Mustangs banners, you see them all up there, and you're seeing those things for every training session. It's not as if they hide those banners away. You're seeing
that's
them
right.
every training, every time you're on the ice, you're seeing them there. So he was talking about some of the young guys as well. I got to see Jed Lake, for instance, in Newcastle in the Ice Hockey Australia tournaments. I've had a rap on Cy Lake for a while there, and there's got quite, of course, we've got the big names, Joey Hughes, 8 cups potentially by the end of the weekend.
But then you also have
you've
also got like a Sheeter as well. Like, he's been a storyline for the league this year. And he could, put an exclamation mark at the end of that with a championship cup win.
Absolutely, and he hasn't been the best goalie all season for no reason. He's a fantastic goalie, and to see, we were talking about the imports and just seeing the Japanese imports that are on display this weekend. Between the 6 teams is going to be fantastic. Of course, you got people like Liam Webster as well in the team. He's synonymous with the Ice, and Kerry Goulet. He has done a fantastic job to propel them from where they have been in the last few years up to where they are now. It would be real. It's really weird when there's no Melbourne team in finals.
Yeah, and like Mac was right. Like, you look at 2022, that year after COVID, the COVID break, the Ice were languishing at the very back with the Ice Dogs. They were very far away from making finals, let alone winning a championship. And it looked like there was a big rebuild that was going to take a long time for them to get there, back up there. But I think they've accelerated that somewhat. And yeah, Kerry's got to be given a lot of kudos for this year for propelling them up.
Certainly has, and also all the young players coming up as well, as we've mentioned. There's so many of them. They've got a local core, and Paul Gain on screen just highlighting that with massive growth of younger players. It's just not a case of, as I mentioned before, and I mentioned last night as well. It's not just your top two lines everywhere now. You just got to be able to run your third and fourth lines as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the great thing about the league in general, moving to 60-minute games. It really means that every team has to play third and fourth lines to be competitive, and that gives a lot of youngsters a lot more opportunity. Yeah, so we've got quite a few more comments on the screen, I see. We sort of sparked the debate at the end there again about
Abby's face. She didn't have to. Abby's face just didn't have to say anything. Just a shake of the head in disappointment there.
And Sasha King also with the Palmy, but yeah, we've somehow managed to keep this debate going over 2 nights now. But yeah, it's been quite good. So what else have we got on here? We got a few more things about Perth. Yeah, so let's move on, I think, to the next interview, our final interview for the Hellyer teams. Ryan Annesley, the Sydney Bears.
All right, we are here with captain of the Sydney Bears, Ryan Annesley. Of course, with me, Courtney Kinniston, Sean O'Connor, Tristan Metcalf, and Ryan, we've just been talking about people as to who should be the new GM of the Toronto Blue Jays. You're wearing your jersey there. No, but first of all, thanks for joining us and coming on to Chat Finals.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
So it was a big season for you, Ryan. A couple of milestones: 100 games in the AIHL and 150 points. The team finishes top of the conference. Hellyer was so close last year to getting the H. Newman Reed Trophy. Gets that this year. Talk us through how much that means to finish top of the conference and avoid, the potential of 3 games in 3 days as a path to the good old cup.
Yeah, I think you just nailed it. I think, the most important aspect of winning the league title is getting that day off on Friday. In years past, I think we've all seen it in these finals weekends. It doesn't matter where you finish in a single game elimination. Anything can happen. Any team can win. I mean, the year we won, we finished 4th, and we were kind of reeling at the end. So, but this year with 6, I think, the really important thing is just getting that day off Friday and trying to stay fresh so you don't have to play the 3-3, which is a big mountain to climb for any team for sure.
Ryan, how are you going to handle sort of, I guess, being called the favourites to win the cup at this point?
Look, I think as a team, we do a pretty good job of just kind of, combating the noise and trying to keep all that kind of stuff out of our heads. So I don't think we necessarily even, nothing that we discuss or think about, we just go in with that same mindset, which is to win every game and to take it a period at a time. So sometimes it's easier said than done, but I think with this group, lots of veterans, lots of leadership in that room. I think it's something that we'll just try to avoid the noise at all costs and just go in as, the same as everybody else. We're all on the same playing field for this weekend.
With that noise and stuff, Ryan, how are you guys going to approach the Friday? So I think it's interesting for both yourself and Newcastle. Like, how do you guys deal with that day off with games going on?
So we were lucky enough to actually secure some ice in Melbourne. So we'll fly in, get a practice in, which, to be honest with you guys, it's probably going to be the first practice or game that we've had our entire lineup on the ice together this entire season. So it's going to be crazy and exciting to see that. But yeah, we'll do a practice, probably, nothing too strenuous, some flow and stuff like that. And then leave it up to the guys if they want to stick around and watch the games, which I think most of us will. And then, see who we're playing Saturday. And obviously the preparation starts well before, but in terms of which team it is, we'll start that preparation once we have a winner decided Friday night.
You've had such an informed season as a team. Do you think, does that momentum help propel you into finals, or are you leaving that behind and just purely focusing on Saturday?
I think you definitely draw on it. I think the fact that we were able to, we kind of ran into a little bit of a lull there towards the end of July. Thankfully, we were able to turn the corner into August and win some games against some good teams in the league. So I think, especially those last 3 or 4 games that we were able to kind of find our form again, we'll definitely draw on that. But momentum is really hard to carry game to game in ice hockey. So I think basically we'll be starting from scratch. But if we can use it as maybe a slight motivator, then we will.
One player that I haven't seen much of this season so far, but he showed really good flashes, and I know you know him well, Chris Kushneriuk. You played with him in NCAA, I believe. Talk us through, for people who may not be familiar with him, the character that he is, just the person that he is, and what he brings to the locker room.
Yeah, of course. So I actually played against Kush in the NCAA. So we were in the same conference. So he was on Robert Morris and I was on Niagara. So we saw a lot of each other. And he was a pain to play against. He was primarily a forward in those days. And then when I got traded in the East Coast League, he was on the Bakersfield Condors. So it was nice to see kind of a familiar face, even though we were foes previously. But Kush is just a presence. He brings leadership. He doesn't mince words when it comes to game time. He's like 100% focused, and he'll go through a wall for the team. And the young guys really look up to him. And I just can't say enough about having him around, both on the ice and off the ice. He's just been a treat to have here, and looking forward to seeing him play this weekend. The fact that he can play forward in D2 is a nice little feather in the cap that not everybody brings. So kind of a coach's dream to have a couple players like that you can use in different situations and different positions.
And I guess another guy that's back that you've had some experience with before, Vlad Rubes, who was around as a player in 2019, lifting the cup and then now coaching. What's it like for you to have him back and around the room?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, when he was playing, he was a legend. He was playing into his 50s and he still had it. And, your body obviously slows down a little bit, but you can just tell in 2018, 2019, the hockey sense was always there. And I had never been coached by Vlad previously, but a bunch of the guys had been. He was a player coach for the Bears for a number of years. But I think, having those previous relationships with the majority of the guys helped, but he just kind of brought in a calming presence. He never gets too high or too low. He's good systematically. And, the last little while, you can see everybody's kind of bought in, and we've kind of been rolling on all cylinders with his guidance. So lovely to have Vlad back, and he's done a great job so far.
He's the Yager of the league.
The Yager of the league. Yeah, I like that.
Tristan, what did you say?
I was going to say, what's the chances of Vlad chucks the skates on at some point over the weekend?
You know what? He practices in full gear. He comes even when he's just coaching, he puts his full gear on. So there's still some drive there. I think he's maybe got a little competition against Yager to see who the last man standing is. We'll see.
No. While we're talking like individual players and stuff, yourself, Ryan, you've had the best, at least on the scoreboard, the best AIHL season since you've moved out here. Most points, most goals you've had. What's been driving that for you? Like what's changed that's put up more points?
Look, I think first and foremost is just being surrounded by a good team. I would say, easily this is the deepest Bears team that I've ever been a part of. And a couple guys bringing a little extra skill to the table up front always helps everyone kind of chip in offensively. So the Cadillacs, the Hermans, the Landas, the Lindahls, they've been a saving grace, and they've been unbelievable to watch. So when you're surrounded by really good teammates and guys that move the puck around, it becomes a little easier and just happens. So I think that would be where I would give most of the credit.
Being a little bit modest there, this is the best season you've had for scoring goals yourself, mate. So
yeah. Look, I mean, I give Timmy Newmark a little bit of credit too. He helped me out with some off-season programming. Getting up there in age is no secret. So the body kind of picks up a few ailments along the way. And Timmy's really helped me refine and bring a couple of those down a little bit in terms of pain threshold and mobility and things like that. So Timmy definitely gets an assist as well.
Nice.
We're coming up on 10 years that you've been part of the AIHL. I'd love just your thoughts and perspective on just the growth. So obviously the Rhinos and Lightning have had their second year this year, and crowds have been filling up. And I think I've seen quite a few of the Bears games have been selling out and just looking and sounding amazing in that atmosphere. So just a few things that stand out to you about how the league's grown in the 10 years that you've been a part of it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think it's almost 8.5 or something like that, which is crazy because I only got 150 or 100 games this season because we had COVID and I was injured in coaching. So it feels like a really long time, but it's actually, I think I've only been around for like 4.5 seasons, which is nuts because I've been here so long now.
Elite Prospect says 2015, so I'm crediting you with 10 years.
2015, okay. It definitely didn't come till 2016, but no, it's been awesome. Like, and I don't say this to kind of put anybody down, but like I look at the roster that we had in 2016 versus the rosters that we're carrying now, and this is just from looking at the Bears, and it's night and day, the skill level. Like there's so many good Australians and New Zealand players. People are getting permanent residency, which helps. And then a lot of these young kids now that are going overseas or even just playing in Australia, and they're really bringing the competition level up, which is awesome. And I think, that those additions have really given the league the ability to expand. Obviously, with the two new teams, great for rivalries, having a team in Central Coast where we can another driving trip for Sydney, which is awesome. Nice rink out there as well. So you love to see it. Like, and the import quality too. That's another thing. It's like the import quality from 2016 to where it is now. It's like if you don't have, at least 2, if not 4 quality Class A imports, it's hard to compete. And we've seen kind of the playing field just keeps rising, and all the teams are bringing it. So it's awesome. We love to see it.
Just on that as well, the Class B imports that's the league is trying to make a push, I guess, into the Asian market. What have you seen? That the Bears obviously this season have Kenta Matsukane, the Melbourne Ice have had Tatsunoshi Nishida. There's been players that it's not only that their game, but their personality has been I think a real addition to the league. What's been your kind of impression?
Well, to touch on Kenta first, man, did we luck out to get him. Like, he is, as a player, he is unbelievable. Like, he's just Mr. Consistency out there. His skating ability, his puck moving, and just his reading of the game is phenomenal. I'm thoroughly impressed every time I watch him, whether it's in practice or a game, how smooth he is. And then he's just such a lovely guy off the ice. Like, he fits into the team so well. So can't say enough good things about Kenta. But yeah, like you said, you look around the league, like it's not just Kenta. Most teams have the Asian class import, and they're not here just to kind of fit in. They're making a difference for teams, and it's awesome. It's been great to see, and hopefully this is just the start of something that continues year after year, because it's been phenomenal to see. It's basically like another Class A import, realistically. Like, these guys are that good, so it's great.
Tristan,
you're
I'm sorry.
You've done a Gordon.
Yeah, I'm running a real professional operation over here. Ryan, so you guys are going to play the winner of either the Brave or the Thunder. Do you have a preference there? I see you've put up 5 points across the season against each of those. Do you have a particular preference?
No, look, and this is just being honest. Like, we were talking about this the other day, is there anyone that we'd like to play? And it's like, you know what? The parity level in this finals weekend is so high. All these teams bring different challenges, and these teams are so deep now. Like, it's not, one line only. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensemen and, a goalie or 2. So we truly don't have a preference. It's just a matter of, preparing for whoever is victorious Friday night, and, trying to get some film and some scouting reports and stuff done early Saturday before we play whichever one of those teams. Sorry, I know that wasn't the answer you were looking for, but
No,
you know.
one day someone will tell us exactly that we don't want to play X.
Yeah.
But
but
exactly.
but as the Leafs fan, Leafs fans fan, Ryan, I you know, we did get torched for the "We Want Florida" chants from you know. So yeah, I respect
our mistakes.
Yeah. You don't want to give ammunition to the other teams or their fans.
Well, and to win the cup, you need to beat everyone, right? Like, it doesn't matter who you end up versing; you've got to defeat everyone that you face.
That's it, yeah. And that, you know, just going back to 19 and our experience then, it was, you know, unfortunately we got Canberra in the first round, and that was, I think, one of the years or the year that Canberra had lost, like, you know, maybe one or two games.
Yeah, they had the most ridiculous regular season.
Yeah. And it was like, you know what, guys, we're going to play them now or in the finals. If, you know, granted, we get that far, so the gauntlet is, so it's like, we might as well get it out of the way. So I think, you know, whoever we get, we just hope that we're fully prepared and ready to rock. It's going to be some good hockey, that's for sure.
Who's a bit of a card on the traveling within the Bears team?
When you say card, as in who's the one that you don't want to room with, or what do you mean?
Basically.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I narrow it down. I try not to get a snorer with me, but I won't call anybody out publicly for that. But definitely don't want to be with a snorer if you can. But let's see. I actually don't mind rooming with any of the young guys. You know, Brody's a good guy to room with. Ox is a good guy to room with, and then a couple of the old dogs, Espo, Schlempe. Can't go wrong with those guys. Landa always cooks us a nice steak dinner if we're staying at the Quest Hotel. So you always win the jackpot if you get Landa on the Melbourne trip.
That's great. Yeah,
the pride of Kladno, Czechia, the same place as Yago actually. So, Landa's had an outstanding season as well. But just thinking about for you, you know, obviously lifting the cup in 2019, what's it going to take to lift the cup again now in 2024? What's kind of the message to the group?
I think it's, you know, there's a few factors. Team that you know, kind of keeps that even keel, you know, not too high, not too low throughout the whole weekend. There's going to be ups and downs. You may be up some goals, you may be down some goals. Discipline is going to be a huge thing. All these teams are coming in with fantastic power plays, so we got to stay out of the box. And you know, let's be honest, you need a little bit of puck luck, like whether it's your goalie that gets hot or, you know, a couple posts here and there, one way or the other. You know, in a one game elimination, you truly do need a little bit of that. So we'll try and just control the things we can, which is, you know, work hard, stick to our systems, play for each other, and then hopefully the hockey gods are nice to us after that.
Yeah, you probably have to. We saw that last season in the finals with the Mustangs. You know, their goalie got real hot very quickly, and carried them through to the cup.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know, thankfully for us, we've got two guys who we count on, and you know, we're confident in front of both of them. So, regardless, of who
it's been really good for the Bears this season, having Downey really step up and becoming a real integral part of the team.
Oh, he's been fantastic. He carried us through, you know, what was it, 2/3 of the season, basically.
He's been arguably one of the best goaltenders in the league.
Oh yeah, even the times we left him out to dry, some of the saves he made were just unbelievable. So, thoroughly impressed with him as well. And he's a guy that I played with Downey in 2016 when I first got here. He had to be 15 years old, so it's come around full circle to see him as a young man now. It's crazy.
Well, and seeing all those other new youngsters coming on. I mean, Brody Lindell's just had a breakout season this year, and like Noah Moncrief has also been brilliant at times. So how is it seeing those next generation of youngsters coming through? Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you know, any organization, be it here or NHL or, you know, whatever level, you always hope that your young guys take some steps forward year after year. And obviously it's our first year with Brody, and you know, he's been way better than we could have expected or than he was advertised. So that was like found money. But a guy like Noah, you know, he just keeps progressing and getting better every year. So hats off to these guys and their work ethic in the off season and kind of their ability to take in you know,
systems and things like that. It's been great. And then, even beyond that, just the future. Some of these young guys that have played with us this year in Oxlade and Mac Tutton, Colby Schumack, Eugene Jew, like the future is bright. And I know that the Bears aren't alone in that, and that bodes really well for this league and just for Australian hockey moving forward. So love to see that as well.
I saw Mack Tutton recently got a signed for a team over in North America, I think it was. So yeah, good development.
Totally, yeah. We're sad to see him go, but obviously excited for his next chapter and look forward to bringing him back next year. And again, seeing him progress just like these other guys. So it's going to be fun to watch the evolution.
One thing I'm getting everyone to do, Ryan, is just to finish the sentence. The Sydney Bears winning the Goodall Cup would be.
Tough one. Put me on the spot. A dream come true.
I like it.
Yeah. Twice as nice this time, I think.
How do you think it would be very different to win this time compared to 2019?
I think, look, it'd be nice to do it in Melbourne. There's just something about, nothing, not taking anything away from that final series weekend in Newcastle, because it was fantastic. Great crowds, great rink. But there's just something about playing in Melbourne, quote unquote, the best league in Australia. The crowd's always packed for these finals weekends. So, I just think the stage itself, it's just a little bit different when it's in Melbourne in a positive way. So to be able to do it in that atmosphere, I think would be nice.
Yeah, and I fully expect there'll be a large contingent of Bears fans traveling. Bears fans travel very well around this league.
Yeah. No, we're expecting a good chunk, and they're loud, so we love that.
Any final questions, guys? Perfect. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Ryan. Good luck at finals in this weekend in Melbourne. We're looking forward to seeing you there, and thank you. Really appreciate you taking the time as well to talk about the finals weekend.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me, guys, and keep up the good work with Hockey Hype. I think everybody's got a keen eye on you guys week to week, and you're doing great stuff for our league and hockey in general. So thank you very much. We appreciate you guys as well.
And final question I've got to ask too: are the burgers better at Hungry Jack's? And what's your go-to menu item?
Yes, they're definitely better. I'm a chicken fries guy. If chicken fries are on the menu, if they haven't, they're kind of cyclical. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. But if they're on the menu, I'm grabbing some chicken fries for sure.
You've heard the tip. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much, Ryan, and we'll catch you soon.
Yeah, good luck in finals, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
There we go. If I can get myself off mute. That was a great interview. Last interview for the evening there. Ryan, he's a very interesting guy. It's very straightforward.
He certainly is. So it's him and Woody need to get together at finals to share the chicken fries.
Yes. It's funny that ended up being like at the very end of the last interview.
And GG almost forgot.
I know. I literally had to message him to get him to remember to mention it. But there we go.
So
yes,
I've known Ryan since he came to the Bears. I remember in 2016. He came in very early in the season with Brent Vandenberg, and there was a preseason game. This is when the Bears were playing at Penrith, and so we went to the late night establishment around the corner, where the staff dress in orange. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And he came around, and it didn't matter if it was the club president or me, the social media guy. He didn't know I was a social media guy, or fans. He just went around. Him and Brent went around to everyone, introduced himself, asked what they thought of Bears hockey. Talk some hockey to each and every person in there. And what you see with Ryan is definitely what you get. I know for me, having commentated Bears hockey since 2015, that as he said, this is the best Bears lineup that there has been. I don't doubt that Vlad still skates at training, and it wouldn't surprise me if he pulled on the skates. VR20, he's a club legend, so it wouldn't surprise me one little bit. Like all the teams, they've got so much local depth this year. Great imports. Chris Eden, who hasn't been in the lineup, he's been FIFOing. So they'll
He's
fly.
been phenomenal when he's got on the ice.
Oh, he has been, and there's been so many combinations. For instance, he mentioned Tommy Lander. Adam Cadwick hasn't played for a couple of weeks, so he'll be back in the lineup. Matsukane, as he mentioned, Kenshin Hayashi. I've really enjoyed the increase in ice time for people like Noah Moncrief, and of course, everybody's got a good thing to say about Brody Lindell.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's been a great news story for this season. His explosive development. Him and Mackenzie Bolger, like I think they're finding it out for the local player of the year. But yeah, no, they've been good, and yeah, the Bears are in with a great chance this year. I think Willie Krause is very right here. You know, he's hoping to see it go through, but it will be a great weekend no matter what happens. And yeah, there's been quite a bit of love on here for Ryan and the Bears. So he's
one big difference this year compared to 2019, as was mentioned in the interview, and as you mentioned, the Brave, they were odds on, basically unbackable favourites to win that competition in 2019, with the finals being in Newcastle, and the Bears knocked them out in the semi-final, and then of course they went on to beat Perth Thunder. This year's a totally different equation, and a lot of people would be expecting the Bears to win. Thunder, for instance, we spoke to Captain Jamie Woodman a little bit earlier on. If you missed that, that'll be on the podcast as well. They're a different kettle of fish in the terms of a lot of people don't watch Thunder games unless their team happens to be playing Perth in Perth or playing Perth in their home arena, and so they might not see as much of them. But I know for the Bears, they've been neck and neck with the Melbourne Ice all season for that top spot. Anybody could really win it. I wouldn't be disappointed. There's no real ones where I think, a team doesn't deserve to win the cup. They all deserve to be there. They all deserve to be playing this weekend, and anything can happen. There's so many scenarios, Sean, that it's going to be an unbelievable and an unforgettable weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've had a season for the last, 10 or so years that I've been following closely of the league where it's been so close come finals, where there is no out and out clear favorite to win. I would say maybe the Bears are slight favorites, which is a bit different for them than normally the underdogs going into finals. But I just, any of them could win. And realistically, as much as I'd want my team to win, I'd be happy for any of them to be successful. I did see Sasha King did ask the question before. What's everyone's prediction?
Everybody's predictions for finals. Is that where we hold up the sign and say everybody have a good time? Is that the? I know that's sitting on the fence, Sean. But Sasha, there's going to be a lot of great hockey played. And also, if anyone missed last night's episode where we talked to the players from the Rurak conference, that's available on YouTube, on Insta, probably LinkedIn, knowing GG. And if missed any of that, catch that as well, because what this has really done, it's given a great insight to all the teams, just not your team. It's a real credit to everyone who was involved in the interviews.
Yes, well, Sasha's also very used to finals herself, being the Inferno goaltender. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how it goes this year, and I'm really excited just for the start tomorrow. I mean, prediction-wise, I'm predicting that everybody is going to have a great time. Like, it's going to be a packed-out arena. Like, it's just yeah, it's great.
I'm sure that we could scroll through comments for the next half an hour, and everyone will have their opinion about who wins. But if you are going to be in Melbourne, please keep a lookout for Courtney and also GG. They'll be out and about getting this fan content. I'll be writing match reports. There's so much going on over the weekend. If you're watching in arena, Urban Alley are actually doing live streams. So if you don't have a ticket for finals, but you're in Melbourne and you want to hang out with hockey fans anyway, there'll be people there at Urban Alley. I know for each of the teams, a lot of them are doing watch parties for people who can't travel as well. So check with your local fan group as well. So even though you might not be in Melbourne, you can still be around like-minded people.
Yeah, and I think the AIHL on their socials have actually been quite good by posting up a few of the different watch parties that are happening in different cities. Check out socials, check out your team fan pages. There'll be information aplenty, and get involved.
If you're Sean, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here tonight. So if you're going to be there, I'm going to be so jealous of people in Melbourne. This will be the first finals in Melbourne that I've actually missed since being involved in the league 10 years ago. So if you're out there, have a great time. Spot lots of jerseys. Even if your team's not in it, Mustangs fans, get out there anyway. Ice fans, stay for all the games. Everybody stay for all the games. It's going to be a great season. And next week, we should be back with our wrap-up of finals and what happened, because there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis. Hopefully some interviews, more interview talk, and some tears, I'm sure. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly thank Jamie, Mack, and Ryan for giving their time this week to chat to us. And I want to thank everyone for listening, watching, and getting involved with the comments. It's absolutely fantastic to see every week you guys coming on and engaging. And you can catch a replay of this episode on Facebook and YouTube, as well as last night's first part. Remember to like and subscribe. I know GG doesn't like to say that, but I like to promote us. So, support us. It'd be great.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. And you can also catch this pod on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify in the future. We'll upload that there soon. All right, Eric, I think that's it. Is there any last comments you'd like to make?
Just enjoy the weekend. Thank you to our producer, Abby, in the background as well, making everything work in the absence of GG. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And ta-ta and farewell.
Thanks, everyone.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go. Even when you feel low, you can still